It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, light Forex social trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.
Good afternoon, guys. 2nd of August 2019, quarter past 2 p.m. CET, quarter past 1 p.m. London, quarter past 8 a.m. Eastern. Piotr here, and this is a special live market coverage of non-farm payrolls day. Before we start, risk warning as usual, guys. Please bear in mind, trading FX on margin, trading crypto on margin carries a high level of risk, may not be suitable for investors who can sustain a loss of some or all initial investment, so please do not invest the money that you cannot afford to lose. Seek education, gain experience before risking real money. However, past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Alright, guys. Let's have a look what we have. Hi, Random. Good morning in that case. Good morning. It's nice to see you. So we hit post ECB low on euro dollar, right? Based on the data we got, a little bit better industrial production, a little bit better Italian retail sales, a little bit better European retail sales. So euro was spike higher. The thing is that we ideally post ECB low tested rejection, but now depends on what we are going to play out, because we haven't seen the deeper pullback we discussed this morning. Probably levels in between weekly open blue dotted line as well as Monday high green dotted line towards even post ECB high. That's the thing here. Okay, we will see. That's, in my opinion, the key zone, key levels. To the downside, of course, the question about 110 and weekly close below 110. Now, it might be the thing we discussed it this morning, that there is during the Tokyo session there was an announcement that there are going to be the announcement, right? I'm talking about the trade deal between beef trade deal between US and the EU, and we have the President Trump speech 2 hours ahead of the US cash close. So we might see weaker euro dollar towards the President Trump. Indices are going down, but then the king will push and manipulate both dollar lower and stocks higher eventually. Overall, what we have, yen is the king, breaking or trying to break lower through the daily demand. That's what we discussed, that even we have daily demand, possible daily demand. After such a Niagara fall, you don't want to pick up longs only because we have demand zone, right, which might be easily broken. And of course, European indices are weak right now. So that's what we are going to eventually discuss if we have some time post non-farm payrolls. I'm going to focus on euro dollar. I'm going to focus on pound. So what we are going to have, I'm going to make the charts bigger, and I'm going to focus on two, on pound and euro dollar. But before we are going to get the number, let's connect with Michał. Let's check what he has for us. Mr. Michał, good afternoon, good morning, whatever you are. I don't know where you are.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
How you doing? How you doing?
Pretty fine. Pretty fine. I barely make it on time, but yeah.
So let's go straight to the point. Let's go straight to the point as we are short of time. All over to you.
Okay. As everybody saw. And we discussed before, the dollar should, after the rate decision, should be much weaker. But yeah, it was, but only against JPY and Swiss franc at the moment we can see. And in the opposite for you, for the euro dollar and pound, I would like to I would be checking more like against JPY and Swiss franc, because it's obviously weaker at the moment. What is interesting, that the dollar did gain a strength against the commodity currencies, against the CAD, Aussie dollar, and New Zealand dollar, right? So I think that if I don't know if you agree, but we might see a little bit of a turnover from the change of the direction at the dollar at the moment, as everybody expected that way earlier, right? Right after the decision. I don't know, maybe what is your stance on the dollar weakness at the moment?
That's what we discussed after the FOMC. That before the FOMC, that everyone was expecting weaker dollar. It didn't materialize. I think that based on the higher time frames, I think that it's a strong breakout on the dollar. Of course, short term, like from the intraday perspective, because it's end of the week, we might see some kind of the profit taking from the long dollar position. But I think if there are not gonna be disappointment from the payrolls, the bulls on the dollar side will try to push dollar higher again. Then it's gonna be all about evening speech of the President Trump.
Yes, that's right. And the thing that he announced that new tariffs, from starting from September 1st on China goods, another 10% for the remaining 300 billion, right?
Yes, you're correct.
300 billion. So yeah, it's not only the economic calendar we have to pay attention to.
Exactly.
Okay. What's more against this pound? It's all about the Brexit, right? And the trade tensions. I think that we still see we had before the weak manufacturing data from Germany were slightly better, but they are still below 50, right? So it's very weak. So I think that what we saw on the euro, that they regain almost half the price of the what happened after the FOMC. I think the trend is still against the pound and against the euro, as you mentioned, is still downside, right? Based on those trade tensions, and they're unable to do anything from the central bank right now.
To be honest with you, I was a little bit surprised yesterday. Because of this action with China again. And I've been trying late during the day after US close yesterday. I've been trying to figure it out by myself what it was about. And actually, to be honest with you, it was for me. It was strange. It was strange action from the President Trump side. But when I woke up today and I saw another announcement that the deal with EU is gonna be an announcement, maybe President Trump is trying to weaken the dollar by doing big runs. So okay, leaving China a bit and keeping them under pressure, but mostly dollar is stronger inside the basket, mostly because of the euro as a heaviest
Yes.
pair in the dollar basket. So maybe he will try to warm a bit the situation with European Union to try to push euro hard. That I don't know, but that might be the case here. So overall, I think that the first part of the US session, if there are not gonna be any kind of the huge disappointment from the payrolls, and I would like to stress very much that from the FX trading perspective, it's not the headline. We have to check average earnings. That's gonna be the key for dollar direction. If there are not gonna be huge disappointment, I think that the dollar bulls will try again, meaning that probably we are going to see a little bit lower euro dollar and pound dollar. And the question could be the choice, right? Because of this deal with EU, shall we touch euro dollar, or maybe if we are going to get the good US number, we should try to trade the eventual breakdown on the cable? That's gonna be the question we are going to try to answer after the payrolls.
Yeah, okay. I just want to also add that he's all the time he's trying to hold these tensions between China, and we saw that data from China are getting weaker, and I think he's one of the things that he mentioned, that he's like a little bit jealous because of China are getting still this huge growth GDP year to year.
But they are printing this GDP. It's not true.
Yes, please, but.
I'm trying to put the joke that China is printing the data, but everyone is printing the data. So to be honest with you, no one knows really what the numbers we have. Anyway, Michał, thank you very much. We are short of time. 1 minute 30 seconds left. Thank you very much for your input. Wish you great weekend. Please recharge the battery and be ready next week.
Yeah, same to you. Take care, everyone. Take care, Peter. Bye bye.
Thank you. Take care. Goodbye. Hi Mer, long time. All right. So overall, we know that it's not only non-farm payrolls day. Then second part of the U.S. session is gonna be like Mr. President Trump day. Anyway, we have like 30 seconds. The biggest bull in town in terms of the prediction is Societe Generale and UBS with Goldman together in between 210 and 190. The weakest expectations are in Credit Suisse, Deutsche, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo around 160, 150. So guys, good luck. I'm not gonna chase straight after the announcement. Let's have a look what we are going to get in terms of the details, right? Always devil is in the details. $164 consensus, 165. So we are with consensus in terms of the headline. Trying to check the details. The rate 3.7 versus 3.7 expectations, prior 3.7. Earnings beat 0.3 versus 0.2, prior 0.2, and that's the key in my opinion, guys. But nothing is moving. Holy maloney, are they waiting for the President Trump or what? Okay, trying to push euro higher. We got the chance, and especially regarding to what we discussed, to see weekly open or maybe a little bit higher based on this equal waves, right? I'm talking about the bounces, so we'll see. Watching carefully for now, but the data is in favor of dollar in my opinion. It might be, you know, it might be that market will be afraid of the second part of the US session, trying to avoid the verbal intervention from the President Trump ahead of the weekend. So it might be earlier profit taking, right? I'm so disappointed we are not moving. Trade balance a little bit weaker. Dollar yen strongly oversold, but just tiny lower shadow for now, nothing special. And yeah, strange reaction for me. What about you guys? What do you think? Because it's like, you know, looks like some guys in New York, they didn't woke up yet. I mean those who can move the market. Random name, Mer, what do you think, guys? That's the whole 12 pips range on euro dollar. Monster range. That's what I think, but Mer, don't forget we have a President Trump later today, so at some point we might see. Especially with the data is in favor of dollar in my opinion. But then the small thing like the President Trump speech, 1:45 Eastern. There might be some kind of the verbal intervention. After the US cash open, half an hour later, we have revised University of Michigan consumer sentiment. The consumer confidence, when it was Tuesday, am I right? Or Wednesday? Was strong. Tuesday was very strong, right? So yeah, I'm very interesting to see, curious to what's going to happen with the revised Michigan. Cable trying as well. Looks like 2160 right now could be the key. And then either Monday low or 2280, 2320 in case of spike. Incredible, nothing is going on. Mer, agree with you. The only thing is that if that would be the mid of the week or beginning of the week, probably that would be the easiest way to fade eventually the verbal intervention. In case there are gonna be very low liquidity at the time of his speech, I would be very, very careful. Overall, it might be that finally Monday or Tuesday we are going to, in case we are going to have such a verbal intervention today, we might fade that intervention, but Monday or Tuesday. Might be the case random. Might be the case because we have post ECB low, we have Monday low, and we are below weekly open. That could be the case, yes, of course. I'm trying to figure it out how to join eventually the parity to the downside. I've been thinking about retest of this intraday high, but not enough power, not enough buyers. So the retest of the levels we were discussing this morning, 1045, 1035, could be the case as well. This 15 minutes candle starts to look uglier. It could be that this on the hourly chart, this breakout candle, yeah, it's again no rush. You're right, random, no rush here. That could be the case for euro dollar. This breakout candle, the bottom here of that candle, that might be the case in my opinion. Let's watch it towards the end of the top of the hour. I thought that because number is good, and so I thought that we are going to move a little bit faster, to be honest with you. There is an attempt to cover the shorts on dollar yen. From the daily chart perspective, we took out the low from the 25th of June this year. So based from the daily chart perspective, bulls needs to close above. And that's on the 15 minutes, that looks a little bit better. But of course the hourly open, the New York open is the key here. And if we are going to see the move above this, you know what, I'm tempted to maybe try just a bit. $11.20, no. You know, we might get such a close I'm really afraid about. There was a real discussion I've seen around about this possible verbal intervention, because Mr. President Trump is sick of this strong dollar, right? And few guys around from big banks, in their opinion, they might be such a verbal intervention. And I think the late Friday speech of Mr. President Trump is not an accident. It might be something inside. So Mr. President Trump may drew the weekly close today. That's the thing. Hi, Adrian. If we have a time, I'm going to check gold. Yeah, sure. There is a, let me show you guys, I have prepared. There is a space over the course, and the random is right here. There is a space over the course of the month to see a little bit deeper pullback on the dollar index. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Because the range from the June is a key right now. So either we might see the pullback towards top of the June, or we might even see retest of the bottom of the June, the same with the opening levels in July, right? That could be the case as well. So in case of the intervention, verbal intervention from the White House administration, yeah, I think maybe that's gonna be Santa earlier this year, right? Because something around 96.20 on the dollar index, that might be sale, right? What I'm surprised of is that the speculators are not trying to take the advantage of the data, and with lower liquidity to try to speed it up things a bit. That's what I'm surprised of. Adrian is asking about this gold because we are not moving at all, so we can have a look what we have on the gold. We were discussing gold this morning, and the first option was to try to buy on the retest of 1427, 1424, based on the equal wave, right? As you can see, it didn't happen. We didn't hit this manipulation point. The second option was we are going to see three waves to the downside and try to test 1418, 1415. This breakout level, right? Of course, if the first scenario didn't materialize, it's hard to say something about the third wave to the downside right now. But also what we were discussing this morning during pre-London Open, right? And from here I do expect retest of the high if my stance is bullish, right? But if your stance is bearish, then the price action seen here, what was it? The price action seen 19th of July, right? The attempt to break higher through this previous consolidation, rejected during the Tokyo session, and similar stuff we've seen here. So if you are a bear, it might be for you second failure around 1450. So maybe bears are going to have enough power to push the prices lower. Now, why we have this rejection over the Tokyo hours? One of the reasons is it was this. I've been laughing. If you are listening this morning, I've been laughing that's the new strategy of the White House. So they prepared the whole day already. What I mean by that is that during the Tokyo hours, they announced that there are gonna to be the announcement of the possible deal, which is going to take place at the end of the day. So they announce at the beginning of the day that there are gonna be another announcement at the end of the day. So full manipulation, right? Central manipulation. It's not free market anymore. If you think it's a free market, you should change your job, right? So it's fully manipulated market, especially today, right? Start at the Tokyo session. So that might be one of the reasons that the few guys are sitting flat and watching what is going on. And so in case of this verbal intervention, to be honest with you, I don't really know what might happen with gold in that case, because dollar is gonna be lower. So naturally, if dollar lower, gold higher, right? I don't know. I don't know. So levels to watch from the bulls perspective, I think between 1427, 1424, the first zone over here, then eventually over under, so closer towards 1415, then again 14 to the downside, yesterday levels. But in case we are going to be here, I think we are going to see the breakdown and we are going to see retest of 1380 or maybe even 1360. So we have intraday zones and daily zones. To the upside, if you are a bull and we are going to see the rally, I think that the big white blue zone, meaning possible supply from the weekly chart, is got the chance to be tested. It's something between 1465, 1490. We are trying to break, guys. We are trying to break on euro dollar. So let's have a look from the shorter time frame. If there is any space, we might try to join the party. The only level I see right now, okay, we know about the sizes, right? We know about the bounces we discussed this morning, the equal moves to the upside, right? So I'm going just, to have a little bit clearer chart, I'm going to remove this. Let's switch to 15-minute chart. And the only thing I see right now, if we are about to continue, probably we shouldn't take out again and close above this 1096. Now, why I think like this? We took out right now this bottom of this early candle, right? And from here, that was the latest attempt to try to get back towards today's high. And from here, there is a break to the downside. Look to the left, look to the range we started to bounce. So that's for me, that's how I see the things here. Of course, we are retesting this manipulation level, but this level been tested twice during the Tokyo session. It was low, bounce, lower low, right? And so we got the chance to activate this supply again. So in that case, we have the next one not tested, lower towards 50.40, and that's what I think it might happen. On the other hand, if you are a bull, then this manipulation point is what you want to hold based on this one-to-one equal move, right? And you want to see higher levels from here. So it looks like we are around the decision point. The worst thing here is Friday, and to be honest with you, I have to repeat, I'm surprised we have this muted reaction, because it's telling me that even we are going to make big analysis, it might end up that the market makers will make stop hunt to the upside, stop hunt to the downside, again stop hunt to the upside, taking into the consideration that there is a lower volatility. Looks like NFP wasn't enough to spur the volatility here. So that's the worst case scenario, right? Stops to the upside, stops to the downside, and we are going to end up where we started. So from the 15-minute chart, we shouldn't get back above 1195. From the bulls perspective, we made 1-to-1 equal waves and we hit this manipulation level. So from here we might see higher levels, and that's probably how we should approach this euro dollar. But for me, I'm completely disappointed because of that move. So yeah. It looks like that maybe euro pound gonna be much more interested. And we were discussing, remember, we were discussing this yesterday, and I've been mentioning the price action over the Tokyo section, what happened also over the pre-London Open this morning. So it might be that we hit these stops above this top of the channel. Of course, it doesn't look like bear flag anymore. I do remember non-farm payrolls and the reactions to the non-farm payrolls before the financial crisis. That was great, right? All these breakout strategies used to work very well. I wouldn't say it was like, you know, saying that it was a super money-making machine, it's maybe too bold call, but compared to what we have right now, I'm already tired, right? After 25 minutes post non-farm payrolls, right? I'm tired watching this, what is going on. Maybe they spent all the energy they had for this week last Wednesday after the FOMC. It's very narrow because even from the early chart, right, we are trying to break through this bottom of this breakout candle. But we have this manipulation point which used to work as a demand, right? So very narrow. Then we have like 25 pips space in case of the breakdown towards 1050, right? To the upside, if we are going to break through the Monday low, through today's high, there is not much space because we have to fight with the weekly open, right? Well done, Random. Well done. It's a good idea to better to join the party instead of being on the one side or another and waiting for the move in your favor, especially when there is no move, almost no move at all. Let's have a look at this dollar yen because they are trying. It's nice cup and handle on the 1 minute chart created here. Three minutes, jeez. So I want to see the. I want to see. That's what I've been talking about. I'm tempted. I want to see the pullback, and I might try to join the party here on the dollar yen. It might be something around. That was the manipulation, and here this one was tested. This one wasn't. So somewhere around 83 and 77, that's where I'm going to try to join, and my stop is going to be below 67, so something in between 10-12 pips. What's gonna be my target eventually? 107.30ish. This untested zone here. So I'm about to, because of it looks like it was just stop count based on this big green daily zone. So we might see some shorts profit taking ahead of the US Open. So something around 83.77. So let's say around 80, targeting 30. Around it's plus minus 50 points, 50 pips. My stop is gonna be in between 10-12, so meaning that I'm targeting 4-5R. And from my perspective, because this risk reward is in my favor, especially that we are inside the logical zone, I might decide to try to take that risk. We'll see where we are going to close early candle, because we hit from the early perspective, we just hit the supply around 107.5, 107.10, but we have this untested zone based on what we've seen at the beginning of the Tokyo session. So let's make some easiest. If that was like this, so yeah, we should see higher levels. I haven't seen pullback yet, but they wanna close strong early candle. That's good sign. That's good sign. That's very good sign, guys. I'm not gonna chase. Waiting for the pullback, right? So that's the only thing I'm going to monitor over the course of next 2.5 hours. And if I'm not gonna get it around the revised University of Michigan, I'm gonna to skip the idea, right? And I'm gonna to finish my trades when Europe is gone for weekend. I don't want to participate. I'm going to watch Trump's speech and the market reaction, but most probably I'm not going to participate, right? So I want to be on a safe side ahead of the weekend. No pullback yet on the dollar yen towards my zone, so not in a position. Again, something around 83.77, but looks like I might not get that one. Looks like they want to go straight. So sorry about this, was good idea, but didn't materialize. The level wasn't hit. And you know, random, Friday is a specific day, right? If you are good over the course of the whole week, sometimes it's better to be on the safe side, trying not to, you know, lose what you already have. On the other hand, Friday is specific day because if you, let's say it's straight, if you screw over the course of the whole week, the Friday is the worst day when you are trying to recover, because usually you are doubling your losses. That's how it works. Or maybe that's how it works for me. Oh, jeez. Okay, I'm a little bit unhappy because they didn't pull back to my level. And looks like they already very close. So the idea with dollar, congrats random. So the idea with dollar yen for now is off for me as well. So looks like nothing to do for me. Was good. Move was fast. But the low with the pullback was 92. So it was 10 pips above my entry, the highest entry. I've been talking about and we hit the target right now. So 10 pips was too high for me to try to jump in, right? I've been talking about 83.77. The low was 92. It's my pleasure, random. Really, it's my pleasure. If it's useful, thank you very much for your kind words. Thank you very much. You know, each of us is different. So whenever each of us has a plan and listening to someone else, right? So our core plan is important. Then you might eventually see some kind of the differences and you can adjust your own plan. That's what random wrote right now. That's the way it's, you know, most probably each of us is not gonna be trade the same way. Like probably I'm not gonna have a chance to trade the same way as random is trading, even if he's going to give me the full explanation. He can give me the core, right? The base. The rest I have to build based on my personality. Who am I? All right? That's how it works. That's why I am bigger fan of education instead of signals, right? Because I can tell about the core ideas. The rest, exactly random, exactly. The rest is the thing you have to adopt to your own, whom you are. What's your personality? What kind of the trader you are? Guys, Really, nothing for me. Dollar yen did the job without me, missed by 10 pips. Nothing going on euro dollar. We'll see this retest here. We shouldn't get above, right? So maybe some spike, upper shadow, close below. That might be some entry. Nothing I can say more. Be careful. We are trading right now around 111. 111 today, within next hour, it's a 1.6 billion in option expiration. So we might be here, we might spend next hour here, because 111 might be the magnet for the option traders. Random in relation to your last sentence, yeah, same here. So we have this expiration 1.6 billion at 111, so we might be here for next hour, bear in mind. Then we have this revised University of Michigan and almost Europe gone, right? So be careful, guys. It was my pleasure to be here with you for the whole week. A little bit shorter today, but really nothing to do. Missed this dollar yen. I'm going to watch maybe US indices a bit later on, but it was my pleasure. I promise you one thing: market will be open again next week, so there are gonna be unlimited opportunities next week. Don't try to chase today if you are not sure. Have a great one, recharge the battery, and our next meeting is Tuesday morning. We are going to cover pre-London Open live. Have a great weekend, guys. Take care and goodbye.